What we've got back up here is this is stuff that's being developed right now. And I don't know if you want to talk about some of the development.
Yeah, just real quick, as was mentioned earlier, all of our online stuff has been completely redesigned, and you've seen that the coach's presentation window is now its own browser, so there are no plugins needed. It's very easy to use. For the players and parents, we're switching to a completely different platform. Again, there's going to be no plugins. All they'll have to do is install the Microsoft Silverlight program, just a double click and run, and then from that point, they'll be able to just log in and get access on a Mac, PC, iPad, iPhone, pretty much anything. This is very, very easy to use. Video quality is great, and some great drawing tools and things for you guys to use. It's going to be available in about 2 weeks. So what will happen is there'll be a seamless transition. When they log into their account one day, it's going to look like this, and the other stuff will be going away from that.
So the big, again, just to reiterate what Andrew was talking about is unlimited player logins. This is what they'll be able to access. Like I said, we're working on some of the draw tools and some of that stuff so they can circle themselves and do all that kind of stuff, get their own highlights out and what have you. But like Andrew said, this is, I'm a coach first and foremost. I was a teacher, and I'm going to get into that here in a second before I actually came to work full time for DSV. So the software has always been developed, by coaches for coaches. All right, so the platform here just gives us, it's the newest, latest, greatest ability to continue to develop. So I can't wait to, really kind of get my hands back around it and see where we might be able to take it. But, again, you can obviously see your games, your cut-ups, your online games. This is actually a coaching gym. Like I said, we're messing around with the Apple stuff. That won't be ready this year, but in the near future, I'm sure that we'll be able to be taking advantage of that stuff as well. So we just want to take that opportunity to kind of show you that we're still working, make our stuff the best it can be. Let's see here. All right. You guys have seen a lot of little bits and pieces of how to work the system. Now, especially for the head coaches now and coordinators, here's the first thing that and starts to talk off about making DSV your number one coach. The investment that you make, you've got to figure out why you're making that purchase, okay? And ultimately, what we want that purchase to be is your number one, your number one guy, okay? This happens to be a computer, but it's your number one most important piece to your success. Here's how it's going to work. You guys already got a little bit of my interjections, all that. I've got issues, okay? So what you're listening to is somebody's had the opportunity. I go all over the country for all the years we've been developing all of our D1 software and all the things, the platform that you're using. So I am just a conduit to information from the Dennis Ericksons, the Chris Petersons, everywhere we've been across the country, developing a piece of football software for you. Some of these ideas are my own. I actually thought of one or two of them, but most of them are from, believe it or not, you got college and pro coaches, the A.J. Kristoffs of the world, all the way down to youth coaches that I've been exposed to that are very bright individuals, okay? Again, this is interactive, so you're going to help me, right? Mary had a little. All right, we're all together. All right, again, we did this last year, or I did this last year about how we organize, and when you get done here at 3 o'clock or whatever it is again, that it all now gets pulled together and it makes sense, okay? Where did you get all this stuff, okay? Like I said, we went on a 2-year, we were going to, right, Andrew, bring up, kind of run into airports and, 2-year, go all over the country, try to convince everybody to buy DSV. We've got a few of them to do it. That's called demo this 18 of the NFL teams, okay? Every place we stopped and came back from was another idea, okay? So kind of gave that one. I'm going to get to that first point. Why did you buy DSV? Did you buy DSV? Who bought the DSV?
Previous coach.
Okay, previous coach. All right, he's off the hook. Why did you buy DSV?
You needed a system that made it easier to coach.
Okay. Who else bought it in here? Why'd you buy it, Gerald?
Time saving.
No, because you're my friend. I said you got to buy it. Gerald, you got to buy some DSV. I'm not going to have a job. All right. A lot of times, time saver, right? Or this one, right? To win more games. Okay. And the next one, see, I should have got me a deal here so I can just click it. And was to save time. Okay. Now, those are really kind of out there. What do you really mean? Okay. Scouting. That's really what we mean. You want to scout, right? You want to be able to teach. Recruiting. Okay, so we're talking about those two points. Okay, we want to start with the end in mind, right, Lee Cole? Because that's what Lee Cole taught me a long time ago. Let's start with the end in mind, right, Lee?
Yes, sir.
So give you credit where credit's due, right?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, me throw a little quote in there, Daryl. What does that say?
Follow your dreams and be led by your promise.
Okay. You guys think about that one on the drive home. All right, let's take scouting. We want to win games. We want to save time. Guys, the computer saves time. Not on the front end. It doesn't save you any time on the front end, right? You got to develop that system. Okay, so you've got all this front-loaded stuff. You guys got to do your terminology, right? And we're going to get into a lot of these things. But on the back end, right, you remember that? You played that team, played them in the playoffs, 4 years later, you get that same team again. You're like, I know I had it in a notebook somewhere, right? You're digging around for that note, okay? Well, that's what this computer does. Here's what I believe in scouting. I've been doing it a long time. My background is math, computer science. I was a math teacher. We make a difference on 8 to 10 plays a game as play callers. Right? So we're getting a plan here, right? Start with the end in mind. I am going to look for 8 to 10 plays a game. How am I going to do that? Well, I don't know, because we all skin the cat differently. That's why we coach football and not baseball. Right? We can trade third baseman, and here's how we're going to turn the double play. Here's how we're going to cover the bunt. Here's how we're going to do the double relay. Okay? Brett Favre goes to the New York Jets, and the fullback is correcting the terminology in the backfield. Because Brett, he learned it one way, and he can't remember how to change that language. Okay? So what am I talking about? Predictables. Predictables. Anybody got any predictables in here in terms of scouting? What am I talking about? Predictables in football. Come on, guys. Who's the defensive coordinator?
Formations.
Okay, but predictables. Things that are going to happen in the game of football, right? Predictables. The first play to start a series. Here's a predictable that's big at the college and NFL level. Okay? It's almost 100% guaranteed. First down, incomplete pass. So what are we getting? What's the predictable? First down, incomplete pass. What's going to happen next? Mary had a second down. And 10. Okay? At our level, it's almost 100% guaranteed. Guys want to stay on schedule, so they go back to what? They're going to run the ball. That's a predictable. What's a predictable? Play after a turnover, right? We all got that one. Right? So I challenge you, go back and think about predictables. San Diego, we had a great football coach by the name of Ed Burke. Okay, he was able to take one guy and get the most out of that kid, but he was a master at isolating you down those 8 to 10 plays a game, coaching his kids and say, this is what they're going to do, and here's how we're going to beat them. Okay? And he did that to us a whole bunch of times. We're in the ball game, and in a matter of a minute and a half, he's up 21 points. Okay? Saving time. If you guys were listening to John before, how many games do you need to break? Let's just take that first point. How many games are you guys breaking, Coach?
For us, that's kind of how that.
3? Okay. Maybe you've listened to this talk before. Okay? Daryl, how many games do you guys break in?
So I want to know what they do while they run.
4.
Okay? Anybody break more than that? Okay? The reality of it is 3 games is going to give you a pretty solid amount of information. How solid a tendency do you need to feel comfortable? Okay? I remember when we first started, okay? First year, second year, we're going into the playoffs. We're breaking all 10 games down. We want to win that playoff game. After about the 3rd or 4th game we've broken, we've got a tendency that's 91% strong. Okay? We get the rest of those 6 or 7 other games in, and that tendency only improves to maybe 94%. That was a great use of time. Right? I mean, it's a predictable, it's a tendency. 9 out of every 10 plays, that's what's going to happen. So, again, when we come back, you start getting in mind, as a head coach, Lee Cole, what is a good enough tendency for your defensive coordinator to make that a call for your kids? Right? You got to ask yourself that at night before you go to sleep. Okay, I got to answer that question. Okay, if I answer that question, okay, they understand how much they need. So again, it is direction. Right? So you have a very, very powerful tool at your fingertips right now. You want it to save time. You want it to win more games. Okay? Plan this out just like you do your offense, your defense, and your special teams. Okay? Now is a great time of year to get that started. You perfect your system now in spring ball, then it's going to work when you get to the season. If you guys go home today and you put your computer away, you're not going to remember most of this stuff. Okay? The next thing you're going to ask yourself is, how many ways do you look at it? What I mean by that, is it personnel up here, like Orange County? I would break personnel because they're so progressive in what they do. Okay, the modern days and these guys up here, personnel's a big deal. Now in San Diego, personnel's not a big deal. Okay, but if I was coaching up here in these leagues, I would do like the colleges do. The college level, pro level, it's all personnel first. Okay, you got to answer that question. Are we going to tag that? Is that going into my right? We've seen now how to go ahead and create those tendency or your touchscreen drop downs, right? So that's one of those choices I may be making. You look at them by hash, okay? Are you looking at them by field zone? Okay. Again, it's all going to go somewhere here. It's all going to go somewhere. But you got to answer those questions. Talk about USC and Pete Carroll. They did one great thing, okay? They never lost 2 games in a row. They never lost 2 games in a row because they perfected that system, okay? And when they lost, they didn't panic, they didn't deviate. They just went right back to work, and they did what they do, okay? So, again, sometimes, you're going to start, you're going to throw some spaghetti up against the wall and see what works. Okay? And you're going to keep perfecting that until you get your system down to where you're comfortable. But once you get it down, don't deviate because that's the part about statistics. Okay? Teaching. Start with the end in mind. Okay? When I originally got into the software, married, no kids, and you'd have 1 or 2 kids would be recruited. So 2 VCRs, right? Wife worked at night. So take game tape, take your blank tape, and you're just making the cut of that one study habit. Okay? Well, that's the deal anymore, is it? I mean, every kid wants to get recruited. All right, so I made a commitment to my guys that says, hey, if you work hard for me, I'm going to work hard for you. Okay? I also define myself by being a great technique coach over scheme. So I knew that I wanted to be able to teach. So I had to have an idea at the end. This is what I wanted. I wanted to be able to teach because technique to me was going to win more games. I firmly believe that. Okay? Well, how do we get to this whole deal? Well, the first thing we tried to do, and again, different degrees of success. Okay? Where I was at for 23 years before I got fired, Lee, it's all Lee's fault. Okay? I had several defensive coordinators. They all did the same, they did the same thing. They all wanted to reinvent the wheel. Okay, look, kids have a hard time. That is brown. Okay? That cannot also be brown. And you wonder why we yell at them. Or, you know how you guys put a play in? You come up with this play, rocket ship. And that doesn't fit your terminology, and 20 years later, there's still that play, rocket ship. Right? It doesn't fit. And you wonder why a kid has a hard time learning. Okay? Or I always loved when we would bring the scout kids over. Okay? And they'd do all these cards, and after 5 hours of drawing cards, you know how the hitch and the curl look like the same because the defensive coordinator is tired of drawing it? And then he's yelling at my young receiver that's just out there scouting, you idiot! And I'd be like, no, you idiot. Okay? If you would have just wrote 90 on the card, you didn't have to draw anything. Because that's what we're going to call a hitch. So sit down with your staff. If you're a head coach, sit down with your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. These are some of the things that we have in common with the guys in the NFL that we don't have in common with the guys in college. Okay? You guys all go watch the college guys. They got 2 separate practices going on. It's all there for them. Not in the NFL. Junior sales got a scout on defense. Okay? So think about that. Now, some places it's never going to happen. If you get your offense and your defensive terminology organized, it's going to make your job, a system, a lot simpler. Okay? Same thing that John's talking about on the other side, about how he's got his terms and his breakdown that matches offense, matches defense, and the things that they don't do, they come up with a name for. Coach accountability. Again, Lee Cole, you can attest to this. I'm going to throw this question out. How many head coaches do I have in here? Raise your hands. Okay, here's a big one. Get down at the end of the year. Well, the freshmen, our freshmen down there, we're screwed up at the varsity level because the JV guys aren't teaching what we're doing on the varsity level. And the JV guys and the freshman guys aren't teaching what we're supposed to be doing on the freshman level, right? We all got to be on the same page. We all hear that one? Okay, which coach wants to take a stab at how do we get on the same page? Now, don't get all clammed up. Right? Answer that question. How are you going to get all on the same page?
Provide them with specific information they need to follow.
Okay? A system and a system of accountability. Right? So, you're in Texas and you want to make your way up, right, from the 6th grade team. You're going to be doing this breakdown. That's who does their breakdown there. Now, I mean, that's a whole other world. But they have to go through the system, okay? And so those terms and the way they do things gets repeated over and over and over again. And the head coach, at the end of the day, gets these reports, and he's able to look on paper, and he goes, yeah, I got accountability because I see it's being done the way that we laid it out. Okay? So, again now, I believe that DSV has done a great job of opening up something that was a very select few schools could afford just a few years ago. Okay? Taking advantage of the online, unlimited logins. You're going to recruit all your coaches in to getting this stuff done. Okay? From the breakdowns, and from the breakdowns we're going to go to a whole lot more things. Okay? So if we don't have terminology in there, we know somebody didn't do their work. Soon when we got our terminology in there, now we're going to go into the installation of our schemes and our techniques. Okay? Because in my system, Lee, tell me if I'm lying or not, tell these guys, to keep guys on the same page, our coaches would literally go out like this. There'd be tripods on the field. DB coach would be back there filming his DBs and receivers in one-on-one drills. And we'd put that on our hard drives. He would take practice film, okay? We would go and try to find film from colleges and pros, things that we were trying to teach or we got exposed to, and then that happening in the game. And their job was to go back and cut it up, and then they had to do a staff presentation. So Lee's my receiver coach, and he has to go do a receiver presentation. And that he did, or the individual coaches, that would be passed down to the new guys coming in. Because you guys know right now, half of your staff, you don't even know their names yet because they're not here, because it's not the week before the start of summer camp, right? Come on, now, that was a good one. Laugh. Thank you. I told you, Mary had and not enough coaches. Okay. So, again, teaching, I'm starting with the end in mind. So I knew that I was going to have to set up my breakdowns, my special categories, things that I wanted to do. So, simple as this. Name the field, technique. Lee saw a good stock block. That was his job to go back through. Hey, you know, Mark just had a great stock block. Yeah, go back, mark that in the film, and all said was receiver stock block. So then we could go now, as we're going into spring ball, and say, okay, give me all the receiver stock blocks. We'd cut them up and we'd make a training from them. Okay? So we're talking about saving time and winning more games, right?